Coming up on Sports Central, we have our special Mother's Day show live from Mayfaire by the Lake. We also have the best in Central Florida sports. Stick around for this edition of Sports Central. Everybody, welcome to Sports Central. Boy, what a beautiful day here on the shores of Lake Morton. If you're just joining us, you don't have much of a choice, I guess. We just opened. I'm Mark Jackson. To my right, Mr. Sam Baker, my co-host for this very special edition, Mother's Day edition, if you will, of Sports Central. Well, Sam, you know, I always look forward to this. Every single year,
It's a great
I always
show.
look forward to, being here on the shores of Lake Morton with all the swans, the geese, the ducks, and assorted waterfowl. But this is a little bit different. And the reason it's different is because Mayfaire by the Lake setting up, I should say Mayfaire by the Lake, presented by the Polk Museum of Art for a huge weekend. You know, I think we can say at this point in Florida and in Polk County, in the post-COVID era, that's something positive. We're going to go with that. How's
Very
that?
positive, very positive. Also, can't forget to mention our fantastic sponsors at the Hampton and Bartow. Thank them for sponsoring this segment of Sports Central. But like you said, I'm very excited to be here. This is always one of my favorite events to be out at. One of the largest of its kind here in the state, so it's definitely a fun one to be at.
Well, joining us, we have the Mayfairies. I love that. The Mayfairies. What the heck is that? One of our guests, Roger Olson, who'll be coming up shortly, was asking, what's a Mayfairy? And I said, well, you know, like a ferry that ferries people around, not a ferry that has wings and a wand,
Yep.
like Peter Pan.
Very different, very important. They play very crucial roles, and we're very excited to talk to them today.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have Leslie Norman and Joy Williams.
Hey there. Good morning.
Yeah, from left to right.
That's right.
On your television viewing screen, for those of you that are directionally impaired. Well, Joy, you kind of have your hands full right now. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day
Absolutely.
on this cloudless May 7.
Wow.
It is just absolutely gorgeous outside. We've got a little bit of a breeze out of the north. What's it look like for the weekend?
Well, we're certainly blessed with great weather, and we're so excited to welcome over 150 artists to the lake, to Lakeland, from 17 different states across the country. So we're super excited to welcome everybody back. We've not seen them in 2 years, so we're looking forward to a great weekend.
Oh, it's definitely going to be a phenomenal one. If the weather isn't enough, I mean, it's so great to finally be back and have the event. How has the past, 2 years been? You all have had time to kind of plan this one. What's going to be different about this year?
Well, this year we have everybody spaced out a little bit differently. It's the same footprint, but we have 150 artists, which is a little bit down because we had to space everybody out a little bit. But it's a great setup, and we're very excited. This year we did not bring back the Mayfaire shuttles, mainly because we didn't think that we could socially distance on the shuttles and control the crowds. So we will not have those, but we do plan to bring them back next year. So we are sad about that. But the lake is only 0.7 miles long, so hopefully everybody can get out and get some exercise and enjoy the sunshine.
Well, the fact of the matter is you're still holding the event. And, Governor DeSantis opened the entire state up. All the executive orders are gone. I personally happen to be an anti-lockdown guy anyway, but, 150 million people have been vaccinated. Social distancing now isn't 6 feet, it's 3 feet. And you're taking a stepping stone. This is sort of a stepping stone, but for the most part, this is going to be the same type of event that we've enjoyed for years and years and years. And I got to tell you, I know so many people that miss this event because it's an opportunity for families to bring mom down here and to pick out her Mother's Day present, do whatever they want to do. This is a positive, good thing, not only for Lakeland, Polk County, but the state of Florida.
That's right. We're super excited.
Yeah. Now, Leslie, we're going to get into the personal stuff because you guys aren't Mayfairies all the time.
We are not.
Okay, now tell us what you do is like on a day-to-day basis besides give your husband a hard time.
Well, I try not to do that. But we do actually plan Mayfair year-round.
Okay.
Especially since next year is going to be our 50th year. So, we'll start earlier this year probably. So, we work it on throughout the year, obviously not full time, but other than that, I am I'm a stay-at-home mom, but my baby is turning 18 today, so that does not age me, but that's okay.
Congratulations.
Yes.
29.
Yes, exactly. Yes. But other than that, stay busy volunteering in the community and just staying active within the church and stuff like just things like that.
Fantastic. All right, Joey, your turn.
Oh, my turn.
We're going to pick on you now.
Thank you. I'm pretty much the same thing. I do stay active within my children's school, and I do have a small little business, real estate business that I run. And other than that, I stay busy volunteering at the museum or working at the museum on Mayfair. But we stay pretty busy.
And Mayfair is definitely one of those events that will keep you busy. There are so many different things that happens out here. I mean, juggling 150 different vendors throughout a year is no small task. I mean, probably all the phone calls you all get and the emails, I would hate to see that. But this year also offers a very new type of event, but we do now have a virtual option for Mayfair. Can you explain that part to us?
We do. What we saw with the pandemic was a lot of art shows were trying to give their artists and the patrons still connectivity to each other. And so if a lot of the art shows had to cancel last year, they really did a great job following up with a virtual option. And we saw that a lot of shows took this route. And so we jumped on the bandwagon. We partnered with a company called Eventany. And you can go on our website to mayfairbythelake.org, and there will be a link to our virtual option so that you can look to see, a couple of the artists that are here. It was voluntary for the artists, so not everybody's on there, but several of them are, so we're super excited about that.
The content of the show, let's get to that for a second, because people want to come down and you get food and beverage and snacks and all the stuff that I like. But when I've been down here and I go around, there's always something I can't live without. I just have to have it.
Absolutely.
I'm not so much who's the painter of light guy? What's his name?
The painter. You're asking the
you
wrong
guys
guy.
know the painter of light.
I do know. It's drawing a blank, though.
Yeah, I just
We get the concept.
Yeah, the brain freeze. Anyway,
That's
I
right.
like that and those types of things. But it's more than just paintings. There's sculptures. There's sort of artistic metal craft.
right.
Over to the metal stuff, and so on and so forth. Tell us a little bit about some of the exhibits and exhibitors that are going to be here this weekend.
Well, we have artists from many different mediums. So we have got glass, wood, we've got the sculptures, the metal sculptures, the glass sculptures, like oil and acrylic paintings. There's so many different sort of vendors. We have jewelry, especially because, Mom's going to be here. We need to have some jewelry for her. But as you go around the lake, there's so many different, you'll see so many jewelers, but so many different kinds of jewelry and different styles. So there's just something to offer for everyone.
Yeah, there really is something, around Mayfair for really everyone. Can we talk about some of the other things that are happening too? We do have the Mayfair by the Lake 5K will be still happening, and I believe, what is our update on the Saturday evening?
The Mayfair Saturday night, we did postpone that until next year just for COVID reasons, really. But we're looking forward to celebrating our 50th year next year, so we're hoping to do that up big next year. But the Runners Club is still having their run on Lake Mirror, and I'm sure they're still accepting runner applications, so that would be great. And we also have our children's area down here at Lake Morton during the festival, too, that people can participate in.
Okay. Well, we've got to hit this one, too. Admission is free.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
just buy something when you come down.
That's
Get
right.
off your wallet.
Support the artist.
Yes,
Yeah.
stimulate the local economy. Get that money circulating, everybody. You know, that's what it's all about. I know from all of our research and data that we've collected, March was one of the busiest marches that we've ever had in Polk County. And April is going to be, was very strong as well. Well, May is shaping up with this back now. All the sporting events that are
Yeah,
out there,
they're
we're
coming
running.
back.
I mean, we are going full time. What type of attendance do you anticipate? Because you have activities both Saturday and Sunday. So give us a little insight on how many people you're anticipating.
Well, I think we're anticipating 50,000 throughout the whole weekend, which is a little bit down, I guess, from normal years, only because we're not doing the Mayfair Saturday night. But from other shows that we've heard of, the crowds are usually pretty good. So we're excited to see all of the community members come out and support the artists because they've really had a tough year. And so just to come out and support the artists would be fabulous.
So for anyone that wants to find more information on the event, directions even, and more information even about the Polk Museum of Art, where can they go to find that?
They can go to mayfairbythelake.org, and all kinds of information is online. And we'd also like to thank our sponsors of the event because we certainly couldn't do it without them. Canon Subaru is here, Frost Law Firm, Public Supermarket Charities, and the Ruthven Warehouse are just a few.
Well, big shout out to them because, you know, these are 4 companies that you just mentioned. You know, the Ruthvens, Publix, John Frost and his folks and so on that have always given back to the community in a big way. So it's really good to see that corporate Polk County is back in the support of the
arts.
The arts and the special events industry. I missed somebody. I said John Frost. I said Publix, and who did I miss?
The Ruthvens.
Ruthvens.
Okay.
And Canon.
Canon.
Yep.
Yep. And they certainly have to be grateful for that. We're grateful for you two ladies coming on out. I
Thank
know you
you
got
all
a
so
busy.
much.
We also want to encourage attendees to go in the museum and see all the exhibits that we have going on in the museum now. 'Cause
Okay.
go upstairs and downstairs.
Right.
Okay. What is the admission for the museum for the weekend?
That is free.
It is free.
It's free also.
If it's free,
Yes.
it's for me, right?
That's right.
Right,
So
right.
you can have a full day. You can get out of the
Yeah.
heat, go into the museum, check all of that out, and just have some good snacks and drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what it's all about.
How
Yeah.
they get you?
Yeah, I'll be here. All right,
Yeah.
girls, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You
Thanks
bet.
for being
Leslie,
here.
Joy, we appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you this weekend.
You too.
And
Thank
we'll be excited to see
Very
what
much.
happens in 2022 as
Absolutely.
well. All
Yes.
right. Well,
Right.
everybody, you know, we've been really blessed here in Polk County to, I want to say, take an aggressive approach with the support of the Board of County Commissioners, the Tourist Development Council, as well as the municipalities, the City of Lakeland, Winter Haven, all of them, all 17 of them here in Polk County. And if it wasn't for that type of partnership, that type of teamwork, events like Mayfair by the Lake presented by the Polk Museum of Art wouldn't be possible. I don't care what would happen. Opened our arms, opened our doors, and we're ready to rock. Check this out from the last Mayfair by the Lake. We'll be back right after this.
Mayfair came to be around 1971. It was the Polk Museum of Art, and they were trying to do a fine arts festival on the shores of Lake Morton. And it's grown to what it is today.
Today we have 160 artists here with many different mediums, from sculpture and wood and paintings and oil and acrylic and glass. I mean, we have lots to offer for everyone.
Artists have to apply to the show, and they have to give us 3 examples of their artwork and apply through a online application. They are juried through 5 different jurors around Polk County, and the highest score gets invited to the show. We have a judge that comes around. She is from out of state, and she goes around to each one of the artists' booths and checks out their artwork, and the best of show will be picked along with a lot of other awards.
It's my 2nd year at Mayfaire. I do what I call abstract reality. It's a mix of realism, surrealism with some abstract designs. I mostly work in wood, doing wood burning and acrylic. There's a lot of diversity here. I mean, you have everything from contemporary to abstract to experimental art, which I like, and there's different mediums. There's 3D sculptures and clay. I mean, there's everything definitely for everyone.
There is some like sculptures with metal work and a combination of both, and it was really intriguing. It was really neat, and the technique that the gentleman used was really cool.
And I like the jewelry, of course, so there's lots of jewelry here for people to come out and see. There's a lot of good stuff.
I'm a digital artist. All my work is hand-drawn on the computer using a stylus, and then I combine different textures, wood, paper as a background element, incorporate a lot of different design elements, colors, textures. I've been doing digital art for over 10 years, and then just started doing festivals about four years ago. It's definitely a good show, a lot of space between the artists. The people that run the show definitely take care of the artists. It's a very artist-friendly environment for sure.
They have a lot of crafts that involve the different senses so that everyone can enjoy the crafts. And we brought it back down to the lake so that the kids can have more accessibility to the art show and the crafts there.
There's many things to do outside of just looking at the art. There's entertainment on the library lawn throughout the day. Saturday and Sunday we're open from 9 to 4. And then we also have a lot of food options for people. And we have Mayfaire golf carts to help out.
My favorite part is seeing all the families that come out, especially the children that get to see all the different creative outlets that these artists bring. And it's just a great event to explore different mediums of art.
I enjoy meeting all the artists and seeing all the different artwork and just hearing about the different techniques they use for their work, and it's just neat seeing how it all comes together. I think the art community is very large in Lakeland and in Polk County, and I think we have a lot of local artists as well, some from out of state, but from throughout Central Florida, we have such a large group of artists, and just we have a lot of talent. We think, year after year, more and more people see that they can bring their artwork to one location and just get a large crowd in front of them, and it's been a great opportunity for them.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson, my co-host. To my right, to your left, Mr. Sam Baker. Sam, what a great, beautiful day to be at Mayfair.
Absolutely.
I mean, well, it doesn't start today, but it starts tomorrow.
Yep.
On Saturday the 8th. But this is just absolutely beautiful out. You got a north wind right off the lake. Doesn't get any more comfortable than this.
Really doesn't. I mean, this is as good as you could ask for it to be. Great placement, really close to downtown Lakeland. And speaking of downtown Lakeland, have to give a huge shout out to Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill, the sponsor of this segment of Sports Central.
Great place to eat lunch or dinner.
Fantastic.
And it's making me hungry right
What's your
now.
go-to order there?
My favorite is crawfish etouffee.
I always got to stick with the shrimp and grits. I can't
Shrimp
get
and grits
enough
is good.
of it.
Yeah, there's really nothing on the menu I don't like.
No, definitely not.
They have good snacks.
Very good
Very
snacks.
good snacks. Well, everybody, this is segment number 2 if you're just joining us. And, you know, it's such a pleasure to have Leslie and Joy on the show. They're so busy. In fact, they ran from this interview to another interview with Ken Suarez. So, you know, they're on the move. I don't know if they do more television interviews than Grady Judd or not, but they are pretty popular.
Definitely close.
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently, he got kind of mad. A buddy of mine said something to him maybe a week ago. He said, "You know, Grady, the only person that appears more in the paper than you do is Mark Jackson," and he just grumbled and he goes,
So I got to find a way to get back.
"Oh, we are blessed to have Grady Judd as our sheriff. What a blessing." You know, and that's why Polk County is Polk County. That's why we live here.
Yeah,
one of the
it's
reasons
a
we
great
live here.
place to live, absolutely.
Well, one of the guys that thinks this is a great place to live, too, at least part of the year when he isn't up in Viqueen country. You know what I mean by that? Land of 10,000 lakes, and that's Minnesota. Our next guest, Mr. Roger Olson, rep for the International Water Ski and Wakeboard or Wake Sports Federation. And, you know, he's got more titles than Grady has coverage. It's just amazing.
Let's see. We can read them off. Chairman of the Rules Committee for the National Ski Association, member of the Records Committee, World Water Ski Show Tournament Steering Committee, and also sits on the Board of Trustees for the USA Water Ski and Wake Sports Foundation, among many, many other things. But that's just in the world of water ski.
I always like to embarrass him.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
because we do interviews that, you know, for other shows that we do, I do nationwide and so on. And he doesn't talk about it much, but he is a pilot for Delta Airlines, really more of in a role of an instructor now. But Roger, things are coming back in the tourism industry, aren't they? At least in the aviation industry as well.
Oh my goodness, I just flew up to Atlanta and back this week, and full flights both directions. The airports are filling up again now. It's a wonderful thing.
Oh, it's fantastic. And I was in Minneapolis Airport not too long ago, and that was a pretty strict lockdown state. And I could see the numbers coming back about a month ago when I was up visiting. I had to check out some issues on my farm up there in Wisconsin. But, you know, just that slow trickle and increase. But now it's like Katie bar the door. You guys can fill in every seat.
Lots of pent-up demand, and we're getting ready to start hiring pilots again.
Well, that's really a good thing. But we've got to go from flying to, well, flying on skis, I guess.
Yeah.
This is the water ski capital of the world. And, you know, Roger, you're heavily involved in the celebration of the sport of water skiing's 100th anniversary.
Yeah.
It is so critical to the sport and to the industry right now, because water skiing is at a peak again. It's climbed through the COVID situation. Tell us a little bit about the 100th anniversary. It started in your home state, in Minnesota. What's happening there?
Well, we've got an absolutely wonderful 100th celebration coming up next year, and we're going to open up right here in Polk County in Lakeland, Florida. In February, we're going to hold the Hall of Fame at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. And the first the first tournament of the year will be in Winter Haven over at the All-American Tournament. And, of course, we'll end up 2022 with the last tournament, which will be the World Show Ski Tournament, which we're all part of, and it is going to be the biggest, the best. I've been involved in all of them since day one, and this one is going to be, well, I don't want to brag too much, but it is going to be quite the show.
Well, and it's a good way to put it, Roger. And these are the best water ski show teams from around the world. China is one of the teams I know.
Right. We've had Canada, Australia, China, Belgium, of course, the United States, and we're going to add a couple more for next year. We've got verbals on a couple other countries, so we will be bigger and better.
That's in October, right?
October 22nd, that weekend, whatever it is. We'll kick off Wednesday with the opening ceremonies and right on into the shows and the individuals. We've not had individual competition before in the World Tournament. It was scheduled to have it in Australia, but as you know, I was in Australia ready to do the tournament, and 2 days later, they sent us home. So, but they were scheduled to have some individuals. We are going to have a full slate of individuals, so that will attract a lot more countries. Some skiers from Sweden have expressed an interest. Mexico, Colombia. We've got interest from a lot of other countries that we have not historically had at the tournament.
Well, the sport of water skiing is, at least in the United States, is underneath the United States Olympic Committee, Olympic and Paralympic committees. It is not an Olympic sport. It's been a demonstration sport. It was in Munich in '72 and so on. But it is part of the Pan Am Games. It is part of the International Olympic family,
right,
but not right now as an Olympic sport. And as we look to the future, that's a possibility. And one of the events that's an individual event that you will be hosting at the World Championships in Winter Haven in 2022 is Adagio doubles, similar to ice skating. And I think that and possibly wakeboarding have as good a chance as any to for some sort of inclusion into the next Summer Games.
I totally agree, and we're very close, and I know that it's always been the three event skiers, the slalom skiers, jumpers, trick skiers, who have always pushed to be in the Olympics, and I've always been of the opinion that show skiing should be in the Olympics, but now that we're expanding this tournament, we're going to get a little more traction. We'll push a little harder, and in fact, we just switched here in the United States, the USA Water Ski and Wake Sports organization. Now, when you go to their website, we're running through the USOC website. We're on their USOC website, so we're getting there.
Absolutely, and we always talk about just the history and the tradition of the sport of water ski in this area and everything that it's going to mean to have this the national show ski tournament right here, an international show ski tournament.
Yep.
But a part of it too is going to be the reason why it's going to be so huge is the site is going to be amazing. And so can we talk about that a little bit, just the new Lake Silver, everything that's going to come there, because it's really going to be something to see.
The city of Winter Haven has bent over backwards for us, helping the Cypress Gardens team and getting the site ready. We're moving the site slightly, and we're bringing it into national standards, and it is going to be one of the top water ski sites for show skiing in the United States. And historically, that's always been in the Midwest, those sites. Show skiing is very strong in the Midwest. It got started, in Mark's home state. The resorts, the fishing camps in northern Wisconsin, they'd all had kids that worked and they were going to college. They'd come and work the camps during housekeeping, that sort of thing, and a little friendly rivalry. I've got a kid that can barefoot. Well, I've got a couple that can do Adagio doubles. And so they had a little rivalry, and out of that came the National Show Ski Association, which was started by some people in Wisconsin, and it has just blossomed.
Well, the numbers now, it's one of, if not the largest sports division underneath USA Water Ski and Wake Sports, which is the official governing body of the sport. There's 9 separate disciplines underneath that umbrella, Roger. And, at the international level, to bring the World Championships to Polk County, and to conclude the 100th anniversary
Right.
in Polk County, in Winter Haven, is something special. And you own a home on Lake Winterset. To be able to do that and to be around all these people, not only they're going to be some of them competing, but some just, I want to be involved in this. That's got to be huge in the community.
It is, and we're bringing in thousands of people into Winter Haven, Polk County, the water ski capital of the world. We're just going to prove it over and over and over again in 2022. If Ralph Samuelson on July 2nd, 1922, if he had figured out what he was starting, I think he would have been, he loved coming to Polk County. He loved going to the Hall of Fame, and we've got his stuff in the new Hall of Fame at the Visit Central Florida building up on Highway 27, just south of I-4. And Ralph he brought a lot of his stuff, and we have it for the museum. And he skied in Lake City, Minnesota, which is or Lake Pepin. Lake Pepin is a wide spot in the Mississippi River that divides Wisconsin and Minnesota, and so we take claim for it. There was another country that said they were first in water skiing, and they couldn't prove it, and Ralph Samuelson could prove it, and here we are.
And that's the big news. And of course, the museum and Hall of Fame now at the Visitor Center at I-4 and 27. You got to make sure you check out everybody. Just opened up 2 weeks ago. Really exciting stuff. Well, Roger, thanks so much for joining us. I know you're a busy guy, probably going back up to Atlanta to do a little flight training again soon, aren't you?
I'm in Miami next week. We're renting a simulator down there, so I'm teaching down there next week.
Okay, well, fantastic. Best of luck with that.
Yeah.
And, water ski capital of the world, right here in Polk County. Well, everybody, it's time to be sweet in a lot of different ways. Well, of course, it's Mother's Day. Well, it's also time to be sweet to your neighbor. Treat your neighbor as you would yourself. So we have a little campaign that we've been running featuring a little paddleboarding as well. Check this out. Mark and Sam, we'll be back with segment number 3 of Sports Central right after this.
Hey, I'm Jessica, and we're here with Paddleboard Winter Haven at the Lake Summit Boat Ramp. Most of our group are paddleboard newbies, so we're going to get some instructions and then head out.
First thing we're going to do is everybody's going to grab a paddle, and we're going to get those set up for you. Front of the paddle. For a couple of you guys, it's easy. A couple of you guys have this nice, what I call a bone on the front. It actually peeks out. Most of them have this crease in the back. That's the back. That's always going to face to your back. Every board has some kind of carry handle, whether it's the indent or the actual pop-up handle. Well, why does it matter we're not carrying them? It matters because when I put you in the water, that's where you want to be. We're going to go out here on our knees. We're going to put one knee on each side of the handle, and we're just going to kind of paddle around and get our balance.
Being that it was my first time, I figured I'd try something new, and it was definitely fun. At some points, it's definitely difficult to stay balanced, but Cammie's a great instructor. She's very thorough. She's been doing it for a long time, so we had some fun, and it can be difficult, but you figure it out after a few minutes. I would definitely do it again. It was a great experience.
Oh, she was great. She went step by step. If we had any questions, she covered them. She was really good. The paddleboards are big, so your center of gravity is good. So it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I was excited to do it, and once I got going, it was even more fun because I could do it. lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be very hard to balance, but it wasn't really that hard. My favorite part was watching them fall off. It's a lot easier than people think it is, and it's really fun. It's worth it.
This actually was my first time paddleboarding. I was a little afraid that I wasn't going to be able to balance, but it ended up being pretty easy for me. I would definitely paddleboard again. It's a blast.
It actually is easy. It's harder to stay stationary than it is when you're actually moving and letting the water do some of the work for you. As everybody else said, once you get your bearings, once you know, you get great instructions, it's really not hard at all. I would absolutely recommend it to any Polk County citizen, any visitor coming to Polk County. We got great lakes here, and this is a fantastic family-friendly activity. It was fun.
Thank you for being sweet. Thank you for being sweet.
Thank you for being sweet.
Thank you for being sweet.
When you follow the 5 safety steps to slow the spread of COVID-19, you're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting the heart and soul of Polk County, Florida's sweetest spot.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central segment number 3 on a beautiful day here in Lakeland, Florida. Man, it is gorgeous sitting on the shoreline of Lake Morton, and you know, it's just we're watching all the vendors set up, and I mean, Sam,
it doesn't get any better than this.
No,
it really doesn't.
You know what I forgot to do?
What'd you forget?
I forgot to introduce myself for those people that are just joining us, and I forgot to introduce you. By the way, I'm Mark Jackson. To my right, Mr. Sam Baker, my co-host for this edition. Mother's Day edition of Sports Central. Well, you know, what's Mother's Day without a little baseball?
Yeah.
You know, America's game and America's pastime.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get that right. If not, our next guest is going to correct me. But we actually have a Hall of Famer inductee joining us this afternoon, and that's certainly a delight. Famous guy here in Polk County when it comes to the sport of baseball. Of course, his folks are well known, and his dad is former mayor of Lakeland, but he grew up in Mulberry. Yes, no, not Mayberry. Mulberry, Florida.
Yep. Well, Johnny Wiggs, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you really for taking time out, because you guys are actually right in the middle of a tournament as we speak.
It is. Mark, Sam, thanks for having me. This is great. It's great to be back in Polk County. It's great to be at the state baseball tournament. Mm-hmm. And it's every year, if we end our season down here, we've had a pretty good season. A couple times we've won the state championship, went on to the Junior College World Series. But this is where it happens, and we're excited to be here.
Well, I know the Ledger's keeping a very close eye on you guys, which segues beautifully because they're this segment's sponsor.
They are. Very thankful for great partners at the Ledger. They do a great job of keeping up with what's happening. It's how we knew that you were in town, because you all we see what they're putting out on the Ledger, but you all have had a great season and are continuing on. But that's part of the reason why you're being inducted into this year's Hall of Fame class, because of your history and your career as a college coach.
Well, I'm really honored. I didn't see this coming, that's for sure. To be in the Hall of Fame with guys like Wayne Peace and Ray Lewis and Andy McGaffigan and on of guys that I grew up watching, trying to emulate. Again, I played some football at Mulberry High School, at least pretended to be a quarterback, and we had a pretty good senior year, and I tried to be Wayne Peace, you know, and of course I wasn't 6'3", 6'4" like Wayne, and going to Mulberry, I got a chance to play all three sports. I played football, basketball, and baseball. And whatever sport it was, I thought I was going to be a pro in that sport, at least when I was young. My dad set the tone. My dad played three sports at Mulberry. And for
Your
me,
dad did?
He did.
I did not know that. I'll have to give him a hard time next time I say that.
Again, same thing, football, basketball, and baseball. My granddad did the same thing. So I just followed in the tradition of the Wiggs household. And Mulberry gave me so many great opportunities. A coach like Colin Smith was my basketball coach, is in the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame. His toughness as a coach made me better. Stu Guthrie was my football coach, who made me tougher and better. Jim Botenhammer was my baseball coach. But those guys made me a better athlete, but they also made me want to be a coach, and that was pretty cool. They made the coaching profession look really great. They enjoyed their careers. I think Colin Smith may have just retired. He did it for so many years. I mean, he was awesome. So to be able to follow sort of in those guys' footsteps in the coaching profession was huge for me. Yes, I probably could have done something to make more money, but it would not have been more enjoyable, and the satisfaction that I get helping young men get to do the same thing that I did. Again, I always say a 5'0", weighed 100 lefty from Mulberry, who didn't think, I had great dreams, but people kept telling me I was too small, those kind of things to do it. To be able to play junior college baseball, to play at the University of Florida, to play 5 years professionally, to coach and now my 23rd year as a junior college head coach, it's been a dream come true for me.
So I'm going to, obviously we're live, and I want to pick your brain a little bit, because right now, you're heading into the championship round,
sure,
if you will, lack of a better way to put it.
Yep.
But Johnny, what happened up to this point, and what does it look like for the next couple of days?
Well, first of all, we had a really good regular season. We actually got off to a tough start. Wasn't playing very well. I blamed it on COVID, like everything else. But we didn't get to play games this fall. They didn't allow us to play.
Okay.
So we didn't have any competition until we jumped into the spring season. Once we got there, We stumbled a little bit. We got off to 7-7 start through our first 14 games. Once we got to conference, we sort of hit the road running. We went 18-4 in conference, ran away with the conference championship. We've had some great success. You know, it's easy for me to recruit to Santa Fe College. It's one of the best junior colleges in the country academically. It's a great college town in Gainesville. Our big brother's 5 miles down the road, so it's easy to recruit. We've won 9 conference championships in the last 14 years. So it's been a great run. So when we get to Lakeland, it's been a great year. But now we get here, you're in the final 8 teams. We've gone 1-1. We got beat the first game against Northwest Florida. We beat Indian River last night in extra innings. So we're in the final 6 teams now, competing for a state championship. Only one team gets to advance to the Junior College World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. We've been able to taste that a couple times. We've been up there twice, in 2009 and in 2016. 2009, we finished national runner-ups. We had a Polk County kid, in Keon Broxton, who was on our team, who's been bouncing in and out of the big leagues the last 3 or 4 years. But so the goal is to try to win the state championship, get back to Grand Junction. But there's 5 other teams that are chomping at the bit to do the same thing.
Definitely. I mean, it's the competition is great. I mean, but it's gotta be pretty cool to come back and be in Lakeland and play in Lakeland and be back in this area and everything. And even part of your career, did you play for the Flying Tigers at one point too?
I did. It's like I said, it's tremendous. I grew up over there at Marchant Stadium. I was a bat boy over there. I worked up in the sound room one year. I threw batting practice to the team right before I went to the University of Florida, and then later on I played a little bit there in 1992 with the Tigers and the great Johnny Lippon, great manager there. So yeah, it's awesome to be back. Polk County has been huge for me. I played pitching so many games at over in Winter Haven, at the Chain of Lakes Stadium in our career. We used to have the Polk County tournament over there. And I can remember all the games that I pitched there. So to come back every year, you know, I'm the first one to raise their hand when we start voting on where we're hosting the tournament at, because I raised the hand to Lakeland really quick because this is home, and it's so fun to come back and have family be able to be at the games.
Well, I was just going to ask you, folks coming to watch you coach and watch the team, and how long does the process go before you know whether you're going to Grand Junction or not?
It'll be Sunday.
Okay.
Yep. It's a 5-day double elimination tournament. You got to play 5 straight games. You got to win at least 4 of them to get there. So by Sunday afternoon, we'll know who's going to Grand Junction. Like I said, it's tremendous. Grand Junction does a great job with the Junior College World Series. We played in 2009. We played in the championship game. We played in front of 11,000 fans.
Wow.
So, you know, some people think, you know, it's junior college baseball, you get 500. Not in Grand Junction. We got 11 grand in the championship game. You know, they'll come to the 10 a.m. game and there'll be 4,000 people in the stands. So it's a super, super tournament. And, you know, if we can hit the lottery here the next couple of days and win a few more games, it'd be fun to get out there again.
Well, we definitely hope that you do. And I know that we will see you again on June 8th. Right here for the Polk County Sports Hall of Fame. In a perfect world, this would have happened last year. I think June 9th, I think, is what we had it set for and everything. But obviously, someone had different plans. So, but this year, June 8th, you'll finally be inducted and have that moment and be right there in the Hall of Fame with everyone else we've mentioned, all those big names we've thrown out so far. So yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah, really. I mean, really special for me, of course, and I can't wait. We even postponed. We have a 30-year wedding anniversary trip to Jamaica that we had to move the flights and the date and those came one day to accommodate. But really excited. Can't wait to be coming back. And hopefully we're just getting back from Grand Junction, rolling right in here for the Hall of Fame. But
what a way to cap off
what a way.
A championship win Mountain Cup.
That would be great.
Let's make that.
Appreciate y'all having me, and again, appreciate the honor of the Hall of Fame for sure.
Sam, I am. You know, one of my favorite parts of every single show is the athlete spotlight, the up and close. I get those two combined, but that's what I like to call it, the up and close. But the fact of the matter is, we get a chance to look behind the scenes at some of Polk County's best athletes.
Oh yeah.
And to see, how they train, to see what goes on in their head, the mind games, the physical side of things is really a treat for me. I really enjoy it. Well, we have a young lady by the name of Maddie Lopez, and she is a soccer player right here in Lakeland, at Lakeland Christian. And so we have some great footage, some great interviews. Check this out, everybody. Sam and Mark will be back with the local update right after this.
I was originally a gymnast and I did dance for a couple years. And then one day I just decided to try something new and I wanted to do soccer. And so right from the dance studio, me and my mom, we went to the soccer field and then signed up, and then I've been playing ever since. It's brought a lot of friendships. It's literally, my life is soccer. So everything that I do, everything that I do and say revolves around soccer. So it's brought just fun, friendships. I usually get up around 6 and I go to school till 3, go to soccer from 3:30 to 5, maybe 5:30, come home, do homework, eat dinner, take a shower, go to bed around 10:30, and it's all day, every day. In practices, my mentality is to give 100% no matter what you're doing, just so it can make you better and it can make others better around you. So it's honestly really draining, especially on hot days. But it's just a matter of how bad do you want it and how bad do you really want to get better and how bad do you want others to get better and what's the ultimate goal. It teaches us discipline, that if you don't get something right the first time, you should have to keep working harder at it to get it the second time or the next time, and just keep working hard no matter what. In practices, we all push each other super hard and we're a super competitive team together. So I feel like the fact that we all work so hard all the time at practice, push each other, and our connection between each other, we're all best friends and we do everything together. We're together all the time after school, and so we just have this super strong connection, and we just carry that on the field and off the field. As a sophomore, I have 2 more years to still play, but I would like to play soccer in college. And I want to try and play pro, but if that doesn't happen, then it's not the biggest deal. But yeah, I just want to play soccer in college, and I want it to be fun and not pressured. And soccer doesn't work out, I want to become a massage therapist and try to pursue massage therapy and the sports aspect of it. I feel like there's a lot of sophomores in my class, so I feel like all of us together, we've been on the team for a pretty long time. We've all played together in club soccer and stuff, and so I feel like we have have such a close bond that we know each other very well, and we know the other players on the team, and we can just use that to our advantage and help each other. Having this gold medal, it means everything to me. I never leave home without it, and it just makes me want to get more of them. I know we have the potential as a team to win more of these, so I want to get at least 2 more for my last 2 years.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. Mark Jackson along with Sam Baker. You know, I say, wow, these kids these days, they look so young. Geez, you look so old, Mark. You know, but what a delight to watch Maddie and see her future unfolding right before our eyes.
Yeah, we've had a great chance to hear more about them, about the Lakeland Christian School, and them winning a state championship. Just had one of their players and their assistant coach on earlier in the year, right after they had won that. So that was a great opportunity we had. Ramsey Watkins actually on that team. But can't go any farther without saying a special thank you to Lake Myrtle Center for Advanced Dentistry out there in Auburndale, this sponsor of this segment of Sports Central.
Well, it's nice to have them on board, and we're all smiling brighter because of it. But Sam, we've got, obviously Mayfair by the lake. We've talked about that. We had Leslie and Joy on the show in segment number 1, but there's a lot more going on this weekend. It's just May. You guys have 36 sporting events being held in May. 36.
There's a ton of things happening, and it's not just your standard, your soccer, your baseball.
What are some of the big ones?
We got some big ones. If we wanted to, we can start at least with the odd ones. We got the Grind for Life Championships that are out right here in Lakeland. That's a skateboarding event.
Translation, please. There we go.
Yep, that's a skateboarding event out there in Lakeland. Fantastic event that they've been having for years now. So that's coming up this weekend with more common. We got baseball. We got a chance to talk with Johnny Wiggs about the JUCO state championships that's going on over at Joker Marchant. And then for soccer, with FYSA being located out at Lake Myrtle and everything that they do, they have the opportunity to host a lot of great events. And then one of their largest of the year is the President's Cup Finals, and that it will be also coming up this weekend. It's a chance for teams competing with U.S. Youth Soccer to come out and compete. So some of the best teams in the country, the travel ball teams, will be right there at Lake Myrtle here this weekend. Be a fantastic one for us.
Well, that's a big event. About how many athletes play an event like that?
Oh, it's got to be, team-wise, upwards of 100, 120. It's going to be a great time. Wow.
And then the parents, Sam, you guys talk about this all the time, that, when you're looking at sports, the real target is the youth sports.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why is that? Well, yeah, it's fun to watch the kids play, versus, a bunch of old fogies smoking stogies, that commercial that's out there. But, with these kids, they bring a lot of other people with them, too, especially the female sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you think about it, if you think about youth sports, everyone always, people get posed the question, I have a youth boys baseball tournament or a youth girls softball tournament. Which one would you rather have? A lot of people say, the competition or whatever. You'd always want the softball tournament just because, parents come in, they bring their daughters, they're playing in this tournament, and then they go shopping, or then they go out and eat, and then it's all of the associated activities that come with that tournament that really elevate the impact of a youth tournament compared to, say, the fogies and stogies, as you will. So
we got a couple of sponsors to thank before we close out here.
Absolutely. Special thank you to Holiday Inn of Winter Haven, Jimmy John's, Hampton Inn of Bartow, Staybridge Suites, and the Days Inn of Lakeland, all phenomenal partners of Sports Central. Really could not do what we do without them.
Well, there's no question about that. Well, everybody, I know that you just love to listen to this guy over here because he's on the radio show. Our Sports Central Ugly Sister show is on WLKF 96.7 or 1430 AM every Thursday night from 5 to 6. One of the hottest shows in the entire Central Florida region. It ranked at number 5 at one point. So, good job with that, Sam. And then our next live show, everybody, is going to be May 21st, and we'll have some results for you for Johnny Wiggs and how his team from Santa Fe did. But until then, this is Mark Jackson for Sam Baker. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We're going to see you next time.